later. Get your feet off the floor. Shalom. Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash, for blessing us to get through another week, to bring out another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Let me put the link in real quick. Salakia. Because as the title reads, nothing but dark days ahead in Babylon. And I like to bring these titles, and I set the titles on, from what I've seen and what I've heard, and what's pretty much going on in the world, man. And it don't seem to be getting no better, and it's not going to get any better. People are lashing out, crashing out, losing it, and this is going to happen to the pride in Babylon, man. The pride is going to be shut down and stomped out because the Lord is tired of you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans not listening to his word, not respecting or seeking him or his word, man, his understanding. For you other nations, you're pretty much done. It's downhill for here on out for you. You can't escape your judgments because you've done nothing but oppress the children of Israel collectively. All you other nations, man, your time is up. But for 2/3 of our people, they're gonna be wrapped in pretty much included in on your judgment that you're gonna receive, and that's bad, man. You're oppressed the whole way of you being here in this captivity, and then when your enemies get their judgment, you judge right along with them. It's not a smart move, Jake. But I got a couple of videos I want to play and show, pretty much setting the tone and setting the president for this lesson, man, because all that toasting to the good life and partying and just a everyday thing you do as far as like shopping and in the mall or grocery store can earn you a ticket to to the spiritual world, man. Which is gonna bring me to this first video that I came across. I didn't watch any of these, so we're gonna both watch it through the spirit. We're gonna all watch it through the spirit, and we're gonna pretty much filter it through the scriptures. But let me get one real quick. This is Job. Matter of fact, let me go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 2. it says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth," right? And gross darkness to people. So it's it's very dark in the land of Babylon, man. I mean, there's a dark spirit in its dark times, and let alone gross darkness to people. People are even worse off in the state of mind that they're in. They're worse than the darkness that is in the earth, man. You know, because what there's a such thing as dark, and then there's too dark, right? There's a darkness that you can see a little bit, a light through, and then there's darkness that you can't see nothing, man. And that's what these people are in. Look at how they're lashing out, and look at the spirit that's covering Babylon the Great. A spirit of violence, a spirit of death and destruction. And it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. We keep telling you this. It's going to get worse. Soon, you're going to know and understand without a shadow of a doubt that we are the prophets and the servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. We were telling you the truth the whole way. Right? So let's read that again. Isaiah 60:2, it says, "For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee." Upon who? Right? The elect. You know? Because the elect is in the light. The light is who? Yahushua, man. So we can see through this darkness. We can see what's going on, what's literally going on. That's a scary thing to be in darkness and not know you're in darkness. But to see the darkness through the light, through the spiritual light that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given us, and to be able to see the darkness on the people and the darkness that's covering Babylon the Great, man, you consider yourselves blessed. This is the true definition of blessed, man. Right? So let's play this one. So it says, 2 people shot, killed at Las Vegas shopping center near Maryland Silverado Ranch. Now, this is in Las Vegas, right? You know, everybody want to go to Vegas and turn up, and whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Apparently not, man. The whole world knows what happened in Vegas. You know, so check this out.
I would have been gone.
Park would have been gone.
I had the gun in my hand, trying to keep it from him from pulling it. After I fell with the gun, he came and struck him.
2 men hailed as heroes tonight after wrestling a gunman to the ground moments after police say he opened fire on a married couple. Police confirming that couple was targeted by a single armed man. And that alleged shooter, is in custody tonight, facing a long list of charges.
In just minutes, a neighborhood grocery store turned into a bloody crime scene. 8 News Now reporter James Schaefer joins us near Maryland Parkway and Silverado Ranch with new information about a possible motive.
And Brian Denise, we can tell you that court documents show this alleged gunman was in an ongoing custody battle with a woman that police say he shot and killed tonight. Detectives attempting to make sense of the senseless act. The sound of screams after gunfire taking cover in the produce section of this Las Vegas Smith's. Jail records identifying the alleged gunman as...
So, matter of fact, let it finish.
43-year-old Alejandro Estrada.
While she yells out, "There's a shooter," I don't know what happened. I just walked over there towards him. He pulled out his gun. We're rough. We're wrestling for the gun.
It would be these 2 men. First Marconi Clark, followed by Darius Alston, who took the armed gunman, who they say had multiple firearms in a bag, to the ground.
I'm like, "Help, help." So I'm pulling the gun away from him. That's when he comes over, hits him, strikes him, keeps him on the ground. I move all the weapons and pull him away from him.
A truck driver from LA and a Las Vegas-based barber, two men who hadn't met until this moment, now bonded by a tragedy.
He just reached in under his shirt and tried to attempt to pull out this gun, and that
As
was
soon
it.
as we seen that, hey,
He didn't
that
even
was
say no
over
when he
with.
was
I'm
getting
like, man,
stripped.
he's gonna shoot Clark. So that's why I took it in my hands to go over.
Metro Police arriving moments after taking Alejandro into custody and revealing a previous relationship between Alejandro and the female victim.
It appears the male and female that were inside the business, the victims, are husband and wife or in some type of relationship. The male suspect was in a previous relationship with the female victim.
This appearing to follow it.
So you see where this is going, man. This was pretty much a crime of passion or whatever you want to label it, and this Jake, he's Northern Kingdom Jake, more than likely. He took matters into his own hands. He said it was in a custody battle, and she was married or dealing with some other dude, and Jake got upset and went on a rampage, man. So, you got this spirit out here as well, man, with these damn women, just do away with relationships and jump into another, and that adulterous spirit is in Babylon the Great heavy, man. So this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen a lot more, man. Hey, it's judgment on a lot of you women in America, man. Because a lot of women, not all women, but a lot of women in Babylon the Great are pure demons, man. And this Jake, he said, nah, it ain't gonna go down like that. He I guess he found out where they were, and he put both of them in the spirit world. The woman and her new, dude or whatever. So hey, man, this is judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord does not tolerate adultery, man. The Lord, he gives people, different people more time than others. Right? But ultimately his judgment is going to come.
An ongoing custody case over two children.
It appeared they had some children in common. From our investigation, has revealed that they had some custody issues that they have been dealing with lately.
Through court documents, police information, and a marriage license from last year, we have the ability to tell you the identity of those two victims as Amanda Wen and Victor Frias Rosas. As for the two children involved, now tonight, left without a parent. Reporting live from Silverado Ranch in Maryland, James Schaefer, 8 News Now.
Jail records show that Alejandro due in court tomorrow afternoon. That's for the initial appearance. He faces 2 counts of open murder, burglary, and aggravated stalking, among other charges.
And through those court documents, we also learned of an address where Estrada lived. The 8 News Now investigators tracked that address and did see police officers just outside the home, which is in North Las Vegas. Police seen taking photos of the home, but did not go inside while we were there.
Now, Smith says they are cooperating with police and sharing this statement, which reads in part, "We are deeply saddened by this senseless act of violence. The entire Smith's family is offering our thoughts and prayers and support to our associates and customers. The Resiliency and Justice Center also offering resources to those impacted by the shooting, including mental health support."
For the latest on this and others.
Hey, man. And let's get Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 34. It says, "For jealousy is the rage of a man." So if a man is jealous, more than likely he was jealous, man. He was angry and he was jealous. And with jealousy brings rage. It said, "For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance." You think he had any type of You think he said in his mind that he was going to spare anybody when he got enraged? No. It says he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So you can't talk a man out of, when they get to that point, you can't talk a man out of doing what he gonna do, man. It's not gonna happen. Regardless, you could say, I'm sorry, please don't do this. We got children. Think about your kids. That man, he just sees red. And jealousy can do that. Right? And what's a way that it can happen? Let's get it. This is Job 19 and verse 29. It says, be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. So what type of sword was used in this judgment? The modern day sword, which is the gun. Right? And that man, he was on a rampage, man. He put that woman to death and her new dude. I don't know if they said it was her husband or whatever, but let's get it. So we're gonna go here. So this is the dude right here. Right? This is the dude. It says Las Vegas double murder suspect. It said in court with battered, bruised face. And them two Jakes, they took him down. But hey, this man, he feels like he ain't got nothing to lose, man. Right? But you see, people keep playing with people. You can't do that in this time, in this day and age. People are not, taking any shorts. They're not taking no for an answer. And you just can't run around and be loose and do what you want and I don't want to be with you no more. I got somebody else. You can't do that to everybody, man. Some men they can just walk away because they probably was tired of you anyway. But for others, he felt like he sponsored your life and he put a lot into the relationship and he thought this was going to be it for him. He got his family and all that. And they say don't play with a man's money, don't play with his food, and don't play with his kids, man. So they was going through a dispute. They was going through a dispute and all that. Salakia, 1 second. Yeah, they was going through a dispute. And, he probably said to hell with it, man. And that's right, brother. And Shalom. It said the most dangerous man is a man with nothing to lose. That's right. When a man got his back against the wall and he got, like the brother said, he ain't got nothing to lose and he lose it, man, ain't no telling what that dude gonna do. But he gonna do something very, very bad, man, that's gonna cause pain and hurt to somebody else. So let's look at this one.
Face busted and bruised after Good Samaritans helped take him down. We're seeing the man who police say killed the mother of his two children and her husband inside a Smith's grocery store Tuesday. 8 News Now, the only camera in court this morning.
Mr. Estrada has a much more serious case that's on calendar Monday morning.
Alejandro Estrada appearing in court for the first time Thursday morning with an eye nearly swollen shut, his face battered and bruised. Metro police say he shot and killed his ex-wife and her husband inside this silver.
Oh, so they was married. So she was married to this dude, right? She was married to him. I don't know if they said she was married to him though. I think she just had kids with him. And then,
bruised. Metro police say he shot and killed his.
She got with this dude. He may be, Northern Kingdom too. They both may be, who knows? You know, and he put both of them to death, man. He said this ain't gonna go the way they think. You know, they said he had a bag full of firearms. So he looked to do more damage. Because if you're just going for them two, you just take one gun or whatever, and do what you do. But he had a bunch. So yeah, man. He looked at he was going on a rampage.
His ex-wife and her husband.
Which takes me back to the brother that, you know, shot 8 of his kids, and both of the women he was dealing with over there in where was that? Oh man, was it I don't think it was Tennessee, North Carolina, one of them southern states. You know, and the kids were trying to get away from him, man. He shot one of the kids on the roof. So this spirit is in the air in Babylon, man. These are the dark days that, you know, that we speaking of, man, through the spirit. It's gonna get even darker, man. You're gonna see certain stories on the news, and you're just gonna shake your head like, man, I can't believe it. And the only way you're gonna be able to remain sane is through the mercy, the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. If not, you're gonna bug out right along with everybody else, and you're gonna wind up doing something. Let's continue.
Inside this Silverado Ranch Smith's Tuesday, and bystanders stepped in to stop him.
Boom. So when we get him on the ground and all that stuff, Clark pushes his bags out of the way, gets his guns away from there and everything. I'm still on there beating this guy up, kicking him up.
That's all we want to do is keep him down.
Estrada faces multiple charges, including 2 murder counts. He didn't appear in court for his first scheduled appearance for that case Wednesday, since police say he was in the hospital. But he's here Thursday for a previous traffic warrant. At times, he appears to doze off.
Do you recall receiving a citation for speeding on December 18th of 2023?
Also on his record, a previous domestic battery arrest, exactly 10 years to the day of the deadly grocery store shooting. The 8 News Now investigators obtaining the report stating Estrada's own sister said she and her mother showed up to talk to Estrada about money he owed his mother, and he became violent toward both of them. Court records show the case was dismissed after a bench trial was set and prosecutors didn't proceed.
That's that jealousy and rage. When a man gets like that, don't stay away from him. Don't come around him, man. Don't be in his presence, because it can pop off, man. And this is what Babylon does to men. Period, man. The curses is falling on our enemies, but this has been the avenue for Jake, whether the northern or southern kingdom, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This has been the highway, the avenue, man. Right? At some point, you know, Jake loses in this country because there's no order. You know, not saying all women, but you know, well, all women they got rights, but some women they abuse them rights. You know, and Jake is dealing with the mindset of a traditional way of life. You know, he figures, you know, he wants to get his wife, he wants to have kids, he wants to have a house, he wants to come home, you know, come in the door and his kids run up under him and hug him and kiss him. He pick him up and he smell the food cooking and his wife is in the kitchen cooking, and you know, he come behind her, kiss her, and you know, taste some of the food, and then he go wash up, and then he eat, and then, you know, they got their family time. When a man gets a family, that's what he sees in his head for the most part, man. But you have a system that is set up that, excuse my language, but that completely, fucked up these women's heads, you know, to where they ain't about that no more, man. They turn from traditional to modern. Now it's about me. Now, if I wake up one morning and I don't want you no more, I can just say, you know, I want a divorce and go to the courts and they'll give me everything. And you'll have to start from ground zero again, man. Right? And then whatever they get from their previous marriage, if they married, then they got to pay, the husband got to pay alimony, child support. Depending on how much money they got and how many properties they got to give certain to the wife and all of this and all of that, and then go share that with her new man. So a lot of these Jakes, man, they lose it when that happens. And I understand, man. You know, this is why men are saying pretty much, I don't, man, marriage ain't for me. I don't even want kids. I don't want relationships. This is why men have checked out, because they don't want to be in this situation where they run into when they come in the damn grocery store and shoot up their ex and their ex's new husband, you know? They don't want to be in this position. So they would rather just stay to themselves. If they want to do something with a woman, you can read between the lines. Then they just do that, and then she go about her way. You know? And now you see this influx of videos where women saying why men ain't approaching me no more, and why, you know, have men checked out of relationships? Why doesn't men want to get married? Which, you know, you got to have goddamn blinders on to not know why a man ain't taking women serious, especially here in America, Babylon the Great, man. Because this place is gross darkness. The people are gross darkness, and this place is complete darkness covering this place, man. So, you know, Jake is just waking up. He don't want to deal with it.
Estrada is now being held on no bail. An arrest report reveals money troubles again. Estrada worried he would go to jail for failing to pay child support. The 8 News Now investigators first uncovering a family court case revealing he owed.
That's another thing, man. Child support, which is an unrighteous decree, right? Title 4D, man. It's not constitutional, man. Right? That whole, you know, Title 4D system comes out of The Hague, man. Right? It's not under the Constitution, man. It's an in-house thing. You know? And this has many men bound. Many men. But you see, in these last days, a lot of these women, they're going to pay for this, man. They're going to pay for this. Right? The Lord is not letting nobody get off, man. Right? That's extortion. The Lord is against extortioners, man. Oh, dude, you better be like this, or I'm going to take you to child support. You better give me this, or you better come pick up your kid at this time and bring him back at this time, or else I'm gonna put you on child support. Hovering, like just hanging out over a brother's head, man. You're gonna have to pay for that. And a lot of y'all fate is gonna be like this. You know? Let's continue.
Amanda Frias Rosas more than $2,800 as of last November. Police say he hunted her down before opening fire. As she grieves, the mother of Amanda Frias Rosas saying she appreciates the men who helped catch him.
Oh, they're my heroes.
Estrada is scheduled back in court Monday. Several cases against him will likely be combined. That's that traffic case, a home invasion and burglary case after police say he went to his ex's home before that shooting, and of course, the murder case.
So he scoped her out, and I don't know how he found out where she was gonna be at, but he had his ways. He probably followed them, and and that was that. That was that, man. But like I said, man, that adultery is in the air, man. Right? Let me get some real quick. Because you got that going on. This is Leviticus chapter 20. Salakia. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. It says, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." And that's what happened. Right? So that woman pulled you into your death. Because like I said, that man, he was jealous. The Northern Kingdom Jake, he looked like a small dude. He probably couldn't beat up her new dude. So, he got the next best thing. He's just gonna remove him off the earth. And by the way, he's gonna remove her too. But this is the traps that Babylon the Great has on men, man. And to be wise, and speaking from experience, I was, on that whole Title 4D thing, man. Right? And that thing is just pure evil, man, wicked. Esau got a lot to pay for, man. And he gonna pay. He gonna pay with blood. Said this wicked system incentivizes women to break up households with little to no consequence for the female. Exactly. They promote it. Man. Hey, shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Yeah, so they promote it, brother. Right, going back to the whole welfare system, man. Yeah, we'll give you these benefits, but can't no man be in the house. And then they'll have, I don't know if it's monthly visits where they see if any men's garments or shoes or anything is in the house, man. And if it is, they may either they're gonna cancel your benefits, or Eve kind of got a little slick with it and said it's her sons or her brothers or whatever, and they'll do a background check. You'll have to get proof, and they'll pause your benefits until they can come to a conclusion as to if you're telling the truth or not. So, yeah, man, divorce is a big thing. Divorce. Yeah.
Slack, brother. You right, brother. Because personal testimony, man. I had a wife, and we had 2 children. She committed adultery on me. So she used one of my family members to be able to leave our household and go live with her. And while she lived with her, I went to court to try to get custody of my children. As she being my wife, because nobody has custody because we both, legally married, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to court to try to get custody of my children. The courts gave her the children back after I filed for it through ACS, because she had an ACS case. The ACS went to the courts and had my children taken away from me when she had an ACS case against for my children. Had them removed from the home that we was living in after she abandoned us to go live with one of my relatives, right? That I wasn't cool with, right? A woman, right? And I went to court. She took the kids. They gave her partial custody. That was illegal. It's illegal. She cannot do that, right? They did it. So they had something called ex parte, which is illegal, right? And they did that with the Bronx court system. Then I went to court for 5 years. I was battling for my kids. She got me kicked out of our home because she had a lease in her name, right? And then I left the home. She brought the kids back to the household. She brought the man she was committed adultery on me into the house with my children, man, during the court case, man. And then also she moved to a different state, which is illegal. While you in the court situation, you are not able to move out the jurisdiction of the court. She moved illegally to another state. Then the court date she had to that time when she moved, she didn't even show up to the court date. They did nothing, bro. No arrest, no nothing, no transportation back to the city, nothing, absolutely nothing, man.
No penalty,
You know what I'm
no nothing.
No penalty, no. And then when I told them that I think she should get locked up for that, right? They said that what kind of man would want his mother of his children to be locked? I said, but if I did the same thing, y'all would have locked me up.
Exactly.
Y'all would have did it. But it's like in this country, man, the woman is seen as this fairy tale Walt Disney Cinderella woman, man. And she's far from that, man. She's really the wicked woman in the movies. You know what I'm saying? She's really the bad fairy tale godmother. You know what I'm saying? The bad godmother. You know what I'm saying? The evil aunts and all that. That's what the woman really is. You know what I'm saying? But they in this system, they make it so the woman can't do no wrong. The kids need to be with the mother. The mother's the best parent. Which statistics show that most children that are raised by single mothers do not become successful in adulthood compared to a father that is single father with the children. The outcome of the child is more times successful as an adult.
And guess what, brother? The courts and these devils, they know this. This is why a man will have to fight tooth and nail to get his kids, even though the woman, all the proof that they have is against her. She's a bad mother. She's unfit. Whatever. They will still keep those kids with that woman because they'll play the role. Oh yeah, well, she carried them for 9 months, and they've been with her since birth, and she's this and she's that. You know what I'm saying? So, but this system is full of SHIT and it
it's
exalts.
It's corrupt and it's feminist. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, man. When you in that courtroom in the family court, they got a whole bunch of women that's just in the courtroom. Like you don't even know who these people are. They're just in the background, they're sitting there, like analyzing you. You know what I'm saying? They do that purposely, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in that courtroom, you're really in a woman's domain, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a family court, man. They do not care about the fathers unless the woman has to be a full-blown crackhead in order for you to get your children, man. Because she won in the case, man, and she broke all these laws. And then they had a temporary visitation right where she had to bring my kids because she was in another state. She had to bring my kids every other weekend, right? You think she did that? Do you think they did anything? Nothing, brother.
No.
Nothing.
And then when the children get of age and they turn into YNs, then she want to, you need to take them and this and that after she done completely just destroyed. Now I'm not saying this for all women because we know there are some women that are out here that really love their children and take care of their children, but we talking about the masses. I'm talking about the masses of women that especially over here in Babylon the Great, man. It's like like I said earlier, I did a lesson earlier. You have these women out here, but you can't find them because it's very little. It's like searching the needle in the haystack for a woman like that, man. A lot
these women, man, they don't even want to get right, brother. Like they don't even want to because, like, what I always believe, man. Like you see these other countries, right, with Muslims and stuff like that, and the women are covered up from head to toe. Everything starts with a fear. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to women have to fear consequences in order to do what's right, man. If there's no consequences set in front of them,
Babylon don't do that.
they're not going to do it, brother. I don't care what nobody says, man. They're not going to do
Babylon
right.
doesn't make these women accountable, man.
Exactly. You have to have consequence. Every action has a consequence, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if Babylon says that you can do whatever you want, you can get abroad, you can commit adultery, you can get married and just get a divorce if you feel like you don't want to be married no more, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then they're gonna do it. Well, that's why they filed 80% of divorce, because there is no reason for them to stop. Who's gonna stop them? So I mean, if you get married in the system now, hopefully, man, you know what you're doing, because I think getting married in this system, man, is like one of the worst things you can do, because you're dealing with a creature that can change his mind at any moment, at any second. One day she can be like, oh, I don't want to do this no more, and then she can just get a divorce, and that's done, and it's done.
That's right. That's right, man. So it's a system that is geared to be against men. You know, this is a metropolis. When you go back to that word, metropolis is pretty much a city for women that caters to women. You know, and that's what Babylon is. You know, but I wanted to get this video right here where, you know, you had, you know, this teenager. It says outcry after violent beating of teen goes viral. You know, this is, I believe, in Canada. You know how they say Canada is so safe and you should move to Canada. You can leave your door open and nobody will come in your house. And you know, times are changing. Times are changing, man. So let's check this one out.
There was a rally in downtown Red Deer today, a show of support for a 14-year-old girl. She was badly beaten earlier this week, and a video of the attack was posted online. As CTV's Nariman Issa reports, youth violence in that city has sparked an outcry for change.
From honking vehicles to signs to these blue ribbons, dozens of people have showed up outside of the courthouse to show their support for 14-year-old Rylan Brinston. Now, the teenager is dealing with several injuries, including a potential long-term eye injury after a violent assault. Her family says they are grateful for the community support.
It's overwhelming, but it's really nice to see how many people in this community care.
Stephanie Rempel says it's been quite the week.
Man. That's crazy, man. You know, but you see how many people come out when it's the innocent old little white girl. You know, we got to change laws now. We can't have this. You know, and the punishment for Jake doing this type of stuff is years in prison. Who beat her up is probably another Edomite.
Care.
Stephanie Rempel says it's been quite the week as her daughter Rylan Brinston recovers from serious injuries.
Very traumatic, to be honest, from the moment I seen her on the ground to the hospital visit to the eye doctor specialist this week.
You know it's another Edomite that did it, because if it was a Jake, they would have had his face posted already. This is the guy that did this to this poor little, you know, sweet, innocent white girl. You know, it says that's what happened to Regel Black. The Jake unalived his ex-wife after she lied and said he sexually assaulted their kids. Bro, snap. Yeah, man. That's another thing. Man, women are evil, man. You know, you got women saying how evil women are. You know, I seen one where Eve, I don't know. No, this was on one of them talk shows a while back, and Eve said that he was like molesting his children, and the kids was saying he didn't, But she just kept pushing it like, yeah, he was doing it. They had to take a lie detector test. And it came out that she lied about everything, man. And when they asked her, why did you lie? She still turned it on Jake and said, why didn't you fight for them? Why you ain't fight harder? And they looking at her like, wait a minute. You just lied. You said that this man did this and did that to his children. His children said he didn't do it. But you still saying he did it. And it came to find out he wasn't doing none of that. So what you got to say about that? She still continued to turn it on the brother, man.
And this is why the Most High is not playing with these women, man.
Exactly.
Like, he's putting y'all to where y'all need to get, unaliving y'all, because that's the only at some point words doesn't get anywhere with women, man. I'm starting to really believe that, man. Right? You know how you deal with your woman and you try to put her in a place with words, right? And she still challenged you, and then dudes snap and then put their hand, and then that's when she wanted to change her tone. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't understand talk anymore, man. And that's what the prophet's been doing since the beginning of time. Well, look what happened with John, Jezebel. He said something to Jezebel and Ahab. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be dealing with her. That's your brother's wife. You know what I'm saying? And she was so crushed and so cut and so hurt about that she wanted his head for that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then what happened? No consequences came until later on. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get consequences right away when she got John head. You know what I'm saying? And she convinced Ahab through her daughter, through a wicked daughter, you know what I'm saying, to get that man unalive, man.
So
You know what I'm saying? Off of words.
This has been going on for ages, man. These women, man, they getting judged, and a lot of these women deserve judgment because they've done nothing but shed blood, got men locked up, put to death, all types of stuff, man. Lying, like ruining men's lives and continuing to do it, just continue it. This is like a pattern. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a pattern. You get with a dude and he's up, and then he falls down a little bit on financially or whatever, and you just leave him. You get with the next Jake. Same thing, you leave him. You're not known as, you're not wifey material, and men, and me personally, I'm glad that brothers is starting to see that, especially over here in the West, these women are no good, man. They are no good. So you can't fault us for pointing it out, because, like I said earlier, your own sisterhood is telling. This is saying the same thing. So let me.
Morning, the whole experience has been very, very traumatic and hard on me. I'm trying to stay strong for my daughter, but it's mentally exhausting.
On Monday, RCMP responded to an assault at a field in the Lancaster area. Video of the teen being attacked circulated online. Today, dozens gathered outside the Red Deer courthouse to call for an end to bullying and to show support to the family. Many showed up wearing blue, Ryland's favorite color.
Well, there's a lot of times where, I don't know, the sky calms me, and I thought of that, so that's from what I would think.
2 14-year-olds have been arrested and charged in the attack. Now, Red Deer Public Schools says that they're looking at possible expulsion for the two accused. Now, as for Ryland, her mom says that she is going to be staying home for the rest of the school year for at-home learning, and that she will do the same for next year. Naranisa, CTV News, Red Deer.
More than likely, it was two Edomites that beat her up, because they didn't want to give, they didn't want to give their pictures or even their names, because they're 14. But if it would have been a 14-year-old Jake, they would have, put his whole damn profile up. Brother said, men lie, women lie, but the difference is women believe their lies to the point it's true in their minds. Yeah, that's right. They'll stick with it, man. They'll take it to the grave. A lot of women say that. I take it to the grave. He'll never know. Right? It says, and are shocked when confronted with evidence. That's right, man. When you let's just say, you know, the woman cheat on you, catch her. She'll flip it on you, man, and get violent. She'll flip it on you and get violent and say that you attacked her. This is what, you know, this is how deranged a lot of these women are, man.
The American nightmare is a woman, man. The woman in America is American nightmare, man.
It's great, and brothers is waking up from that nightmare too. So that, you know, because like I said, you got these women now making videos saying why men don't approach, and you know why they don't want to talk to us no more. Why don't men want to get married and have children anymore? What for?
Because we don't want to eat that fruit no more that you bringing from Satan, man. And that's the whole thing, man. Men are not being Adam in the garden no more. We're not coming to you, Eve, to partake in your fruit no more, man, or your mixed lives, because these women are in denial. They are in denial of who they are. They are the beginning of sin, and through them we all die, man. The Bible hasn't changed, man. That's what I wanted to say something earlier. You were saying about the laws, right? They want to change. They even want to change the law. They always want to change the laws to cater to them, to cater to their needs, to cater to their pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible, the Lord hasn't changed. The Lord hasn't changed his laws since the beginning. His laws has been the same since the beginning to the end, man. He never said, "Oh, we need to fix it." He never went into scripture and said, "I need to fix that law." Right? It's the same laws from the beginning, man. You women are, and you wicked men are the ones that always want to change the laws, man, to cater to you. The Lord doesn't have to do that, because his laws are true, they're faithful, and they always will lead you to the righteousness, man, and to go to the glory, man, that the Most High gives you when you follow these laws, man. You wouldn't have these problems with adultery if every man on the earth and woman would follow the law of God. That's just plain and simple.
They say 80% of divorces is initiated by women. You know, like I was speaking to this dude the other day, and I was like, man, listen, us as men, man, we don't get married to get a divorce. There's no men that's gonna waste their time to get married just to get a divorce. If a man divorces a woman, it's because that man has just had enough, man.
Or it's adultery. Men, that's it. Because men put that on the highest pedestal when dealing with a wife, man. Like a girlfriend could treat, like, you know, in this world you got girlfriend before you got wife. No, you know, we've been Americanized, but when he puts you on that wife status, right, in this American system, you commit adultery on him. There's nothing you could do. A whole bunch. You could not work. You could not cook him food. You could not clean up. Right? A man still won't leave you for those things. Right? But that adultery button, man. Once you push that button, men, we don't get over that, man. You know what I'm saying? A simple, if he you know, a simple, he'll take anything from a woman. But a man that has any dignity or any type of self-esteem or any value to himself, that adultery button, that's what men divorce for, man. Strictly that's it, man. Woman, y'all divorce for anything, man. Any damn thing.
They just wake up, I'm bored, and I don't want to do this no more. I'm bored, and that's just, you just break your whole family up because you're bored. That's, yeah, man. It's wicked. It's wickedness, man. You know. Well, I want to play this because Eve was on point with this. I did a lesson on this earlier.
Can I ask you a question, brother, before you play a video? Is women allowed to divorce a man, though, in the scriptures?
No.
I don't. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you that because I don't really know for sure. Like, because people say that women can, if you're an unbeliever, you know what I'm saying, or if you do some type of wickedness, like gay, homosexual activities, right? But are women allowed to divorce a man at all?
Let me get this real quick. This is What is it in Ephesians? I think it's in Ephesians chapter 7. I mean 5. Let me see.
Because if not, man, my ex-wife is in trouble, boy. She's in trouble, man.
I mean, when you put it in terms of us being in this captivity, man, we wouldn't expect women to deal with Jake if Jake is dealing with, you know, that sodomite spirit and all that. So, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other than that, is a woman allowed to divorce her husband if he's not committing any type of wickedness like that?
You mean any other wickedness? Like, I mean, if he's beating on her, then
not yeah, of course that, yeah. But he's not beating on her. He just not doing what she wants. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She can't just leave. Just like Jake. Jake just can't leave his wife like that. Like the only way Jake can leave his wife is through adultery. You know. The scriptures also say if she would not have it, you know, as you would have her, then cut her off and write her a bill of divorce.
Yeah, basically, she's not being
like
submissive,
a demon.
cooperating. Like,
Pretty much, she's a demon.
Yeah, right. Okay, gotcha.
You know, I'm trying to find. You know, I ain't read this one in a minute. When it says let me see, Salakia. I didn't read this one in a while, man. Is it 1 Corinthians? Let me see. It might be 1 Corinthians 7. Shalakia, bear with me. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and verse. I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried." So according to the law, if a woman divorces her husband or leaves him, she can't get married again. She can't deal with no other man, you know. But that's one
of them. They go crazy. You tell them that, what? I don't care what that Bible say.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, see, this is kind of where grace comes in as well, because like we just mentioned, if Jake is dealing with that sodomite spirit, or if he beating the hell out of her every chance he get, then she ain't got no choice. On this side, she, you know, and she come across a man that, you know, treats her better than that, a man of the Lord, or whatever the case may be, you know, the Lord may have mercy on her. Who knows? I don't know. But the same way Jake deals with, you know, a woman that had a man previous, you know, because, you know, if it was according to the law, we'll all be, you know, put to death, because ain't none of our women our first, or we're not there first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not saying us.
I know what you're saying. If a man deals with a woman that ain't her first, then it's considered adultery. If you go back to how the Most High put it, you know what I'm saying? Originally.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is where grace kind of comes in for women as well. If a woman really is seeking a man of the Lord or whatever, and she's just dealing with a demon, a demonic Jake, and like I said, like we said, he's a sodomite on the low, and she finds out, yeah, she can, you know, I wouldn't tell her to stay with him. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what, too, I just want to say too, because women are guilty of this, right? Of leaving a man and being with somebody else, right? But also, if men will not accept women that have been with somebody else before them, then that could get So that problem out of there too. If all men was like, no, what, nah, you been with somebody else, I can't do it. If men would live like that too, a lot of women would not even leave their man because they wouldn't have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have no man to go to.
Yeah, exactly. But
that's one. Those are also one of the problems. Also,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, in the kingdom, we ain't gonna have to deal with this at all. You know, but even if we were in a righteous kingdom, you know, they would cast women away. Like if a woman decides to leave her husband, she would not, no man to ever deal with her because she's considered a leftover woman, man. You know, she's damaged goods. But let me continue. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 11. It says, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. Now, if they have differences, you know, if they, you know, argue too much or financial differences or whatever, and she decides, they break up or whatever, and she don't deal with nobody else, then yeah, she could come back to her husband. You know, they can work it out because, you know, that's what the Lord really wants. It says, and let not the husband put away his wife, you know, because Jake, you just can't put away his wife neither. You know, it don't just go for women, but Jacob, you know, deal with a woman and because her booty not big enough, you know, nah, I don't want you no more. Or if she lose weight or whatever, nah, I like you this way. Nah, I don't want to be with you no more. Jake can't do that neither. You know, it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. So this would be Paul speaking. It said, if any brother have a wife that believeth not, meaning if you have a wife and she don't believe in the truth and, you know, she's not in the faith, it says, and she be pleased to dwell with him, but she's staying out your way. She letting you, I mean, she don't get in your way of you know, laboring and serving the Most High. It says, let him not put her away. So yeah, you stay with that woman because she's not a headache. You know, she don't get in your way when you doing when you serving the Lord. It says, and a woman which have a husband that believe not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So it's the same for a woman. If a woman come into faith and her husband is not getting in her way of serving the Lord or whatever, then she stay with him. It says, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. So, you know, if the Lord have mercy, you know, that man that's in the truth, you know, if the Lord, you know, have mercy on that man, he may, you know, keep his wife for him, and vice versa. The woman's husband, the Lord may keep him. You know, it says, else were your children unclean, but now are they holy, man. So it's all up to the Lord, man. Like the scriptures say, I will have mercy. The Lord said, I will have mercy on who I will have mercy. Well, we don't know, but what we do know is, you know, pretty much a lot of these women in this country are all demonic, man. So I wanted to play this to show you how Eve is just calling out Eve, man. They calling them out, man. The sisterhood is breaking.
Of a black woman saying, can we normalize black men?
Wait, let me rewind it a little bit. Okay.
So I saw a video of a black woman saying, can we normalize black men protecting black women? No. You want to know why? Because it was black women who turned their back on the black man first. You gave up on him. You canceled him out. You kicked him out. You, black woman, turned your back on the black man first. And now you want to have the audacity to talk about them the way that you do after all the pain and suffering that you have put them through. There has always been a black family unit, always. Since we was picking cotton, all the way up until 1960. It was you, black woman, who caused all the damage that you did. And all that hurt and that pain and the hard work that these black men did from working unskilled jobs, from the law being passed for them to be able to go to school and learn a trade, to work skilled jobs, to make more money, to provide for their family and send their kids to college for degrees. When their job was taken from them, it was you who turned your back on him for a check.
It's still happening to this day. To this day.
And that's the truth, man. Like we went into the whole welfare, the welfare system, but it's always been known, like men that like Jake, that's a stand-up dude. Jake, that's not even in the truth. Just Jake, that's a stand-up dude. Whatever he does is for the betterment of his family, his children. When Jake make more money, when Jake gets a promotion at work, the first thing he thinks of is to run home to his wife and tell her, man, we're gonna be able to go on vacation this year. We're gonna be able to get that car. We're gonna be able to do this. The kids gonna get in a better. We're gonna buy a bigger house, and Jake always got his family on his mind whenever he makes a move, but for the most part, Eve is not like that, man. Eve, I've seen and heard, testimonies of brothers saying how they held women down through school. They helped them get on their feet, and then as soon as they get on their feet, they just disappear, man. They change on them. They just, I don't want to be with you no more, and I'm the breadwinner, and I don't need you, and this and that, man. Jake has never been like that. Jake has never been like that.
That's the Eve spirit from the garden right there. Like, she wants something better than what God already gave her. You know what I'm saying? Her purpose was to be a helpmeet unto Adam. You know what I'm saying? And his purpose. And that's and with the serpent day, you could be better than that. You could be like a god. You know what I'm saying? That was the beginning of what is called hypergamy. That was the beginning right there of hypergamy in woman, man. Where even if God gives me everything, my purpose, my life, you know what I'm saying? Immortality, beautiful, being perfect, beautiful, everything, this is not enough. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be better than that. And that's what women do to this day. That's why it says in Jeremiah that a new thing should come onto the earth. A woman shall surpass a man. And now that has happened, that prophecy has been fulfilled. These women are running rampant out here, man. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell you can't tell them nothing.
Hey, go on for like another minute. I gotta do something real quick.
Oh yeah, so with the sisterhood, man, is being exposed by some good sisters, man, because they know their nature, man. And, when you grow up with a single mother household, unless your mother has some type of love for you, real deep love for you as a man, as a growing boy, she's not going to expose with herself, because it takes a lot of courage and a lot of dignity and morals and values and principles to be able to expose your own sexual gender, man, your own gender. And a lot of women do not want to break that woman code. They don't want to break that girl code they have amongst each other, man, because the girl code where a woman can do wrong, even when you can have your deal with a woman, right? And her mother, and she know you a good man to her daughter, right? She know you a good man, you a faithful man, you a loyal man, whatever, right? You do right by her daughter. Her daughter could cheat on you, and she'll keep it away from you, man.
Yeah.
That's how low that's how far the girl code goes, man. To her own mother wouldn't even tell on her, man. No one is wrong.
Well, when you read Ezekiel 16 in verse 44, it tells you, as the mother, so is the daughter. So it works like that, man. And I've the mother know that the woman her daughter is no good for that man. She'll even tell her daughter to use him. You had this video that surfaced where the grandmother and the mother was telling the daughter, you got to get you this many men for this many different reasons. You got to get the man that you can talk to. You got to get the man that got the money. You got to get the man that, you know, can be your friend. You got to get the man that, you know, can love you right. You got to get the man for this, and they'll make you whole, which is wicked as hell. So, yeah, man, it's man.
This is why you know the scriptures say to go back to the old times where you women weren't able to choose your damn man, man. The father chose your husband, man, and he didn't choose your husband based on looks either. You know what I'm saying? He chose your husband based on these scriptures, man. On how and based on combining families, man. Because that's what you're doing once you get a husband. You're combining your family with that family, and y'all exchange resources. You know what I'm saying? It helps the betterment of the family unit. But you women only choose your men off of what y'all want and what you can gain and the benefits you can get. That's not how it's supposed to be, man. And this is why it's failing. Now, I always ask these women, if y'all was so good at choosing men, why most of y'all single?
Yeah.
They answer the question right there. They never say nothing. If y'all was so good at choosing men, why most of y'all single, and then why most of y'all divorced? If y'all so good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, brother. But when you look at the dynamic, it's like, how many women can you say you got with, and you know, she come to you one day and be like, oh, I want you to meet my parents. I want you to meet my dad. Not a lot, man. You usually meet the mom, and the first question she, what are your intentions with my daughter? You got this, you got that. You know, do you live at home with mom? You know, she pretty much off the back wants you to provide and this and that, which you know, a man don't need a woman to tell him what the hell he need to do. Men have always had that role, provide and protect. We know that, you know, but they're not really.
That's what you do. That's what you do for a possession. When you buy a car, right? You provide the necessary for the car to work, and you protect your car from other people trying to break into your car. Because that's what men do with possessions, man. And that's what I'm trying to say. When a woman may hear the word, like a scripture said that when a man gains a wife, he gets a possession unto his own, right? Yeah. They take that word possession and make it seem like you're a slave. No, that's not what it is. You are a possession because you are property. You women don't want to know that. They don't want to hear that. But y'all live like that. Y'all live like property because when y'all get married, you take on his name. He don't take on your name. You take his name. Okay. You become his property, his possession. But you women but Esau has made that word and that phrase to be something that's negative. You know what I'm saying? But it's positive when you need a new bag, you need your hair done, you want a new car or you know what I'm saying? It's positive when you get something out of it. But as soon as you need to be submissive to when I meant to you to do this or do that, and you don't want to do it, that's when it's not a positive thing no more. Because you women want to be in relationships but still active like you a single woman. You want to be a man's wife or a man's girl, whatever y'all want to call it, but then move around like you're single. You still want to do single things. You still want to act single with him. It don't work like that, man. And men not going for it no more, man.
Yeah, that's right. God. You know, and we telling you like it is. This is not, you know, this is not us hating women because we love our women, right? You'll never hear none of the brothers up here, whether they're in the comment board or they come on, ever say, you know, we don't need women, right? But we tell you
that'll be dumb. That'll be
exactly
not God. It'll be stupid to say that because that's not how God made it, man.
Exactly. You know, and what's happening now, if I can shift topics real quick, is that, you know, these devils. We already know this system is set up and is demonic, man. Is geared to oppress the Israelites, right? You know, I'm gonna go to this video. You know, because you got this whole thing with the it was out, I would say probably a year or maybe two ago. It was heavy. They was pushing it, but then it died down, and now it's back on the forefront, going into the 14th Amendment. You know, where they want to pretty much do away with the 14th Amendment, and they don't want you they don't want you Negroes to be citizens of this country, right? So that way they can put hell on you, and it'll be legal, man. The same way ICE came in and was grabbing up, you know, so-called Latinos from their jobs, from church, from school, right? They looking to do that to you, man, because guess what? Jeremiah 50 and 33 gonna come to pass, man. And it is coming to pass, and it is happening, but you still got an influx of proud Negroes in this country saying, where they gonna deport us to? We citizens. We can't be deported. You still have Negroes that are here that still don't know what type of man that they're dealing with, man. This man is the devil, and you're subject to him, right? The only ones that the Lord is going to protect in these last days is the elect of the nation of Israel, man. The rest of you 2/3 Negroes and Hispanics, the Lord he gonna give you over to Satan, man. So let's check this one out. It says Rand Paul introduces amendment to end birthright citizenship, right? So if you don't know what birthright citizenship is, right, or the 14th Amendment, I'm gonna get it here. It says the 14th Amendment, ratified 1868, is a cornerstone of the U.S. Constitution, and they breaking the Constitution daily, man. These devils, they going against the Constitution daily. So don't think you're safe because the Constitution is in place, because they constantly breaking that. They want to do away with the Constitution. It says the 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868, is the cornerstone of the U.S. Constitution that granted citizenship to formerly enslaved people. Who is that talking about? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? It ain't talking about nobody else. It said it established three landmark legal protections for all Americans: birthright citizenship, the right to due process, and the guarantee of equal protection under the law. And by this last protection, this legal protection, you know that this is false, man, because you're not protected under the law. The law is against you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. How many Negroes called the cops for a dispute and they wound up put to death, man? How many times Jake he go jog and get shot unarmed, and they go for justice to the law and they don't get it? How many times Jake get caught stealing and get 30, 40, 20 years, and the Edomite or any other nation commit the same crime and they get a slap on the wrist? So you don't get equal protection, man. Right? It says citizenship clause definition: grant citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people. Right? And what are they doing to the slaves? The slaves are still slaves in this country. The slaves are being gunned down daily, unarmed. They're getting falsely accused, falsely arrested, right? This is what's happening to the enslaved people in America, man. And the whole world knows it. Because what? The people that you are under, that you're subject to, is your arch enemy, man. Your highest enemy, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And a lot of you Negroes, you don't know that. Right? You think by, being in his law enforcement system and his system, period, you think he favors you. No, he don't favor you. He hates you, man. But he will use you. So that's what's going on, man.
And no problem with Jake and Eve is that Eve loves the white man until the white man does what the white devil does. You know what I'm saying? He pulls you in, he reels you in, and then once he reel you in, know he got you, then he does you dirty. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Eve went, oh, see, I knew I should have never been with the. But in the beginning, you got kissed up to that's your jobs. You're on time for him. You do whatever he say. But when you come back to your husband, that's a Jake. You don't want to do none of that. But till the white man turn on you, that's when she learns that the white man is your enemy. And that's a damn shame because we've been telling you that it was your enemy for years now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But they're not gonna listen to Jake, man. They got to see it to believe it. That's Jake as a whole, man. Right? I got to see it to believe it, man. They not all like that, but hey, you're about to find out how they really feel about you. So check this out.
Welcome back. The Supreme Court could decide as soon as next month whether President Trump can restrict birthright citizenship. But my next guest isn't taking any chances. He's ready with a plan to end birthright citizenship through a constitutional amendment. He is Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, and he joins me now. Senator, thanks for being with us here today. 2/3 of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, 3/4 of the states is another path to ratify an amendment. And we barely get bills passed, Senator.
Yeah, I think going through the states is our best chance. There's about 35 Republican states where this is pretty popular. And I do think as it's explained to people and people understand that people are breaking the law and their kids get to vote, I think most people, if they hear that, are like surprised, but also upset that this is happening. We also have so many people abusing our system. I mean, look at the entire Somali population of Minnesota stealing $9 billion. So I think people are upset about this more than they have been in a long time. And
by the way, that whole Somali thing, it was a Edomite woman who was the head of that fraud. A Edomite woman, man. But they're not gonna, push her out there. They're gonna just say it's a Somali thing, and nobody really care about the Somalians, man. This is for Jake. They want you to think that it's for everybody. No, this is targeting Jake, man.
I think the 14th Amendment was intended really to make sure slaves, newly freed slaves, were voting, all for that, all for legal immigrants who come here and U.S. citizens to vote. Right. But if you break the law, I don't think you should be rewarded with voting.
But does that mean even though that you're
and Jake he tends to think that his vote counts. Your vote don't count, man. How is it you've been voting since you could, right? And nothing has changed for you in this country. Your situation has gotten worse. Your neighborhoods have gotten worse. You're still living in the ghettos and the slums. Right? You're still living in squalor and on the reservations, the barrios. You're still living in a mice infested, roach infested, high crime, part of the city. You still last hired, first fired. So you voting for what? What are you voting for?
Interpretation, mine as well, that the 14th Amendment had its original intentions. You don't expect the Supreme Court to actually see it the same way?
Most people who watch the oral arguments are saying the court's probably going to rule.
Brother said, this devil is a senator from one of the poorest shithole states in America, Kentucky, and he's worried about birthright citizenship. Yeah, because he's a devil. He's a devil, man. They want to make this place, for so-called white people. And guess what? I got a video I'm gonna play after this where they cutting Jake's voting rights off, man. In most of these states. I think Kentucky was one of them. So they don't even want you to have a voice. What you think is a voice, they don't even want you to have that. So they're trying to go backwards. They're trying to go back to the Jim Crow era when you couldn't even look at these devils in the face, man. Right? You look at these devils too long, they can just lie and say, yeah, he blew a kiss at me, and next thing you know, you going up a tree. Yeah, that's what they doing. Because Jake loved to say, I know my rights. I know my rights. They taking away your rights daily. And in the eyes of the people, they're doing it legally. Because what did he say? He said, I don't think if they commit crime, they should be able to vote. But the same way you say that, you said that when DJ Trump got in office, what he said? We're gonna get rid of all the criminals. It's gonna be the biggest deportation that this country has ever seen. We're gonna go after the criminals, the violent offenders. And what he did once he rolled out that program, he went straight for the workers. They wasn't even committing crimes. They were working. They was working at car washes, restaurants. They was going to get kids out of schools. Right? They was rolling up on them at the churches. But wait, I thought you was coming after criminals. So you see, this devil, he likes to put things in a like under a blanket and say, yeah, we're going for this and we're going for that. But then they know what it is that they want to accomplish out of these laws that's being passed, man. We getting tired of these Negroes. These Negroes got to go. We got to. You had once, I don't know if he was a senator or a governor. He said we got to blast them back to the Stone Age. So you about, like I said, man, you about to find out, man. These devils hate you, man. They hate your guts.
Yeah, and Salakia, the one that said they're taking away our rights. See, that's the problem with Jake. Jake, you don't have any rights in this land, man. You were brought here to serve captivity, man. And when they made the Constitution, they did not include you, Jake. They was including their own people. They was including the ones that was in charge, as in they had to file. They had to make laws and constitution for their own people because they was getting out of hand when it came to the free labor, the free money that they was making off your backs, off your sweat and tears, off your children, man. They had to put those in the writing, man. They put so that they can equally receive the benefits of the free labor that they put on us for 400 years, man. You know what I'm saying? So Jake, why don't you get it through your head, man? Every time the police stop you, talking about your right, do they care about your rights, man? When they whoop your ass, man? Do they care about your rights when they locking you up for nothing? All these people that get all these so-called TRs, right? That's white, right? When they commit the same crimes as you, they get way less time than you get. You'll get life. You'll get a life for doing the same exact thing he did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when are you going to arrest? You don't have no rights here, man. Like Jay, you have to understand that, man. We're not going to have no rights until Yahweh Shemi Hawashah shows up for us, man. When he shows up for us, then we will have the right to do whatever we want to do, man. Until then, man, you got to pray the Most High show mercy on you, man. And you got to do what these laws say. So it said, agree with your adversary quickly so they don't send you to the judge, man, to be to be condemned. You know what I'm saying? But Jake always want to fight. Oh, no, I know my. You don't have that, man. Agree with the adversary quickly, man.
Yeah.
The Most High is telling you to do that so He can give you mercy, not for you, so He can give you mercy. That you did that. He told you did what He asked you to do. And that's why when I deal with policemen, I just say, yes, sir, I do everything. And guess what? I always got in trouble, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't never get to the point where it can get to. If I just be a nigga.
You ain't gonna win. You ain't gonna win with this man's system. You're gonna win against his system, man.
Being a nigga in this system doesn't get you nowhere. Jake needs to wake up out of that, man. Seriously, man. You gotta wake out that nigga mind frame, man. That you think that you the ego that is not for this place, man. We don't have the power yet, man. When we get the power, then you can get your ego could be as high as you want to be. But we don't have that power now, man. And the ones that celebrities that have all this money, they are a part of a system, man. They don't get those opportunities to be in that type of situation financially without selling themselves to these people, man.
Come on.
I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Come on. I want to get this. This is brother said all we got is privileged, not rights. Yep. So once you lose that, you're done. That's right. And that's what this devil wanted to take away. He said, man, we're not taking any chances. We're gonna try to get this done before next month. But the scriptures say this. The Lord said this. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. This is not our rest, man. This is not our rest. You know, Jake trying to go down there and fight. Oh, if you want to take this from black people, man, this is blatantly. This devil been showing you how he feels about you, man. Right? Just because he laughed with you and he let you in the door, don't mean a damn thing. He needs you, man. He gonna use you. Micah 2:10 again, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, man. This place is corrupt. It's polluted. Right? It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction, man. Yeah, this place gonna kill you slowly but surely. Let's get another one. Deuteronomy. Because no matter what you think, Jake, you're still under the curses here in America, man. Right? You're still under the curses. And you're going to remain under the curses until the Lord returns. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 29. And this is one of the curses. Because Jake think that he can build up economics and get some land and start a new Black Wall Street. And, you know, we can find a way. Black people, we always found a way. Nah. The Lord said this. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Right? You know, like a blind man, he can't see, so he's trying to get something to hold on to, trying to feel something. This is what our people are doing in America, man. They just trying to be into something so that way they can feel like they belong, man. But it's not working out for you. Right? So it says, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. So you're not going to prosper in your ways. You're not, man. Whatever you put your hand to, it may go up for a little while, but you're not going to prosper in it, man. You're going to lose it. Look how many businesses is shutting down. Big businesses, right? Chain restaurants. Your favorite stores, they all shutting down. So you think you're gonna just wiggle between the line, Jake, and you're gonna make it? No. The Lord said you will not prosper in your ways, right? It says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. You came to Babylon to be oppressed, man, because of your disobedience. You didn't want to listen to the Lord, man. You went off. So you think the Lord is gonna have you prosper when you went off? He's gonna bless you for you going off? No. Not saying the Lord haven't had mercy on our people, because the Lord has had mercy on our people, man. Even living in this kingdom, we got certain things, right? Jake got some type of that Babylonian wealth. You know, Jake living it up in certain cases, man. Jake doing good for himself in certain cases, right? But most of the time, those are Jakes that don't know the Lord. Those are Jakes that don't know the Lord, man. When you read 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, and let me see it. Let me get it real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm starting at, let me see, 9. Yep. 2nd Ezra 9 and 9. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. What? Cast off the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? His laws. Putting him first, right? It says, for such as in their life have received benefits. Yeah, you've gotten things. You lived it up, right? You was able to have more than most, right? The Lord said, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You still don't know the Lord. It says, and they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood, but despised it not. Because you can't tell a Jake to follow the Lord if he got something, man. If he got money, if he on top of the world, he feel like he on top of the world, he ain't trying to hear the Bible, man. He ain't trying to hear come back to the Lord. He'll tell you, yeah, I believe in God. And that'll be it, man. That's all you're going to get from him. That's all you're going to get from him, man. So this is why the Lord is going to pour out the pride of our people in this country, man. The Lord's about to show our people what they was really brought to this country for, man. We was brought here as a prison sentence. Just because you ain't got the shackles around your neck and on your wrists and on your feet, don't mean you're not a slave, man. You're still a slave. You got high-priced slaves, house niggas, and you got, field niggas, right? It's just modernized. That's all. But now this devil, he like, man, hey, man, listen. That's it for them, man. Like, I don't want nothing to do with these. I don't care, man. Take their money, take everything from them, man. They proud against us. And what's really burning them up is this truth. It says, verse 11 again, 2nd Ezra 9 and 11, it says, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood and despised it not, the same must know it after death by pain, man. And a lot of you Jakes, you're about to feel that pain, man. That sting of death, right? That pain. Because what? You refuse to turn back. You refuse to repent. You know? So let's go back. Deuteronomy 28. And I'm going to jump to 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And what people was that? Esau, Edom, man. Your enemies. Right? It says, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Like the brother said, right? You have no rights. You just got privilege. And they're about to take that away. So you ain't got no might. You're not strong. You have a power, but you don't want to come back to that power, you think your power is in your hands, man. Right? You think your power is in your hands. And what did the Lord say about that? Jeremiah 17 and verse 5. It said, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, who trust in yourself, who trust in your enemies, and make your flesh his own, man. Yeah, you make yourself. Listen, I'm a God. Right? I'm a God. It says, and whose heart departeth from the Lord, man. Your mind departed from the Lord. If you start thinking that you're a God and you can get yourself out of what's going to happen in this country, and all you got to do is work harder and this and that, and I'll make it through. Hey, man, you departed from the Lord. That means you have no protection. You really have no power, man. You're done. Right? So let's continue.
The other way. That's been the opinion of most legal scholars over time, but we've never had a definitive ruling. I think we probably will get a definitive ruling, and I don't think it's going our way. But either way, for my period in the Senate, I've been for statutory change the law, but I've also been for constitutional change. And I think we're leaning towards the best answer, or maybe the only possible answer after the Supreme Court rules, is we're going to have to amend the Constitution.
All right, 35 states. You need 38 ultimately to ratify it.
And they want to do away. They want to rewrite the Constitution. They want to rewrite the Constitution. These wicked, demonic, devils, man. So it says, Gary Chambers goes scorched earth on GOP's shameless restricting stunt. So, like I said, they want to restrict so-called Negroes from voting. Because these Negroes, man, once the voting come out, once it's time to vote, man, they run to the ballots. What they say, the ballot or bullet, right? So they hey, man, your privilege is being taken away. It's about to be taken away. So let's hear this one. I got a couple more, and I'm gonna shut down. Shalakia, 1 second. Check this out.
You are taking seats from black people, which we are entitled to by the Constitution of this country. Then you are a thief, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to that opinion.
I will not be
and
called
any
a thief.
senator, if you're offended by it, that's on you, not me.
Right.
Now, if that triggered you, Senator, then you should go to bed tonight. And when you go to bed tonight, talk to your God and ask your God to change your heart, because that's conviction right there. Conviction. That's what it was. It did something in your soul. It made you feel something. And that's what happened when black men show up. When black men with courage, conviction, and righteousness show up, it triggers something in you.
But listen, the scriptures tell you that Esau and Jacob, what you're seeing on the screen, the so-called Negroes represent Jacob, and the so-called white man represent Esau, Edom, the two major players in the Bible. They were going to be at odds their whole time on this earth, man. They were not going to like each other. Right? Jake in there fighting for a vote, and his vote don't count. Right? He telling him to go home and pray to his God. Well, this devil, he prayed to Satan. Right? Your God is a false God as well. Jesus Christ, that's not his name. So it's not going to work out, man, for neither one of you. His kingdom is falling, and you, Jake, that want to be a part of this kingdom, you're going to fall too. The brother got up Isaiah 43 and 3. It says, for I am the Lord, Yahweh, thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I gave Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Sheba for thee, man. So the same way what the Lord did to Pharaoh in Egypt for the children of Israel, the same thing he's going to do in this time, man, with modern day Egypt, right? With modern day Babylon, you know? But these, Jake kills me, man, because he come up there with them powerful words, but words ain't moving this devil, man. Words is not moving this devil at all. I'm going to continue that. Isaiah 43:4, it says, since thou was precious in my sight, meaning the children of Israel, thou hast been honorable, and I have loved thee. Therefore will I give men for thee and people for thy life. And who's that? All these other nations, but chiefly Esau, Edom, man. Right? Verse 5, fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west, man. When the Lord returns, man, he going to beam up the elect of the nation of Israel throughout the four corners of the earth. This is going to be the most glorious redemption ever throughout the history. This is going to be so far, like the scriptures say, so far beyond what they look for, man. Nobody's thinking about so-called UFOs coming down here and beaming up so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. Ain't nobody thinking about that. And these devils, they know that the chariots of the Lord exist. They know this. They came out with all of these videos and they released the files on that. Right? So, man, there's a lot happening. But Jake, leave this world behind, man. Leave this world behind, man. Don't think voting is going to set you a place in this place, man, because it's not. Let's continue.
Feel a way about it. So you try to limit us, you try to steal from us, and you think that we don't understand it. Every one of the black men we put up before.
He said, you tried to steal from us. You tried to limit us. He's done that. He stole everything from you, man. He stole your history. He stole your records. He's lied to you, told you that you were nothing but Negroes and slaves, and he stole your heritage, man. Right?
You stand head and shoulders above every one of you on this committee, and you know it. And it does something in you that makes you feel inferior. So then you come with these white supremacist tactics because you have the numbers, but you don't have the courage. Because if you were really visionary leaders, you'd run against these black men with fair maps and you get your whooped. I am not surprised by the things that we see happening in our country today, because this is as true to America as it has always been. I was born in 1985. I'm 40 years old. A lot of times when we talk about this history, we like to go back to the 1960s, the 1800s. But when I was born in 1985, there were no black members of Congress from Louisiana. I was 6 years old when Bill Jeffers was sworn into office. I was 7 years old when Cleo Fields was sworn into office. I was 9 years old when they took him out of office. I'm 40 today, and you're still taking things from black people. Anybody who has to cheat to win is a sucker. I'm gonna say it again. Anybody who got to cheat to win is a sucker. And you continue to do this.
And we all know how Esau Edom gets down, man. He's the type of dude that'll cuff you and then beat you up and say you're resistant. So we know what type of lowlife this devil is, man. The scriptures say he's a base man. He's the lowest of the lowest of men.
Because you don't have a better vision. You don't have a better plan. You are your ancestors' children and grandchildren. Thieves, robbers, liars, consistently. Because you'll go to church on Sunday, tell the Lord you love him. Pray, but you ain't praying out of the same Bible I'm praying out of. Can't be.
Let's
Isaiah 1 and 17.
Are you directing this to us?
I am.
Okay. I'm asking that you don't directly. No. I'm asking that we don't be called names. I'm asking.
I didn't call you a name. What did I call you?
Liars.
Do you lie? All men lie. The Bible says that.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Carter, briefly.
Mr. Chairman, this is public comment. The First Amendment allows freedom of speech and expression 100% without limitation. Mr. Chambers, put on the record your full comments, and if you see thievery, I want you to call it out. I want you, if you see.
So this Jake is a senator, right? So you see the division. You see Jake being roused up, you know. Because Jake is tired, man. Everybody's tired of Esau Edom, man. You know, so this Jake in the little picture, the little small screen, he's telling this Jake sitting there with these three other brothers to just keep talking, man. Say what you gonna say. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna stop us from talking. So yeah, man.
Jake is tired of contradiction. That's what they are. They contradict themselves with everything.
Yeah, man. Because everybody knows that this devil can't be trusted, man. He's a liar. He's the biggest liar. These devils will never tell you the truth, man. You want to know how you know a Edomite is lying? They talking, man. You know, they talking. You just had Trump go over to China with some CEOs and pretty much try to smooth talk. What's that dude named Xi Jinping? And Moab wasn't buying it. He was like, yeah, you know, Trump was like, yeah, I've always said you were a great leader and the children here are so beautiful and this and that. Everybody knows and everybody sees what you doing around the earth. Devil, you think people are that afraid of you that they're just gonna let it just slide over them. Right? The nations are different now, man. Back in the days, you could get away with it. You could come and dictate other countries and all countries and say, you're going to do it this way and that way, and you're going to do what we say. But nah, not this time. We at the end, man. These are other nations. They got just as much power as you do. And you know you don't want it with China or Russia, man. This is why you're trying to get them on your side. This is why you're trying to butter them up. But Putin, Xi Jinping, you won't even go over to North Korea because that dude been wanting to get at you. What's that dude named the leader of North Korea? I forgot.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. He been wanting to get at America, man. And you still ain't out the water with Iran, man. You still battling for the strait. So the nation's patience is running thin with you. The only ones that you can kind of have on your side is the ignorant Jake, man. But now even Jake that don't know nothing, he coming up against you.
Yeah. I watched a video where the reporter asked Trump about what did you speak about with Taiwan about you doing military action, and Trump was like, "Oh, I don't talk about those things." That's what I told him. I don't talk about those things.
It's a liar, man. If it would have been a smaller country, like when he went over there to Venezuela, what he did, he was boasting when he got back. Yeah, we went through there. It was fast. It was quick. They'd never seen it before. The military did a good job. The best. We got the greatest military in the world. He boasted, man. He was proud. But now when it comes to China, I don't talk about that. Yeah, because you know, man. China,
Yeah, you know.
China done sent you. How many warnings China done sent America, man?
Yep.
They sent America and Israel warnings, man. If you do this, you ain't. They definitely said with Israel. They said if Israel uses any nuclear weapons, they're gonna be wiped off the face of the map, face of the earth.
Mm-hmm. And then he said, he said that if they do anything with Taiwan, World War III is going to start right there.
Exactly, man. You think China don't know you've been supplying Taiwan with weapons to attack China? You don't think Russia knows that you were supplying what's that country?
Ukraine.
With weapons to attack Russia? This is why Spain, the French, they all told you, hey man, we don't want nothing to do with that, man. NATO said, nah, we this ain't our fight, this is your fight. And now Trump want to come out, we should cut all ties with NATO. No, they cutting ties with you. Right? But it's all Bible prophecy though. The beast shall hate the whore.
Because Turkey said that if Israel attacks Lebanon again, then they're going. It's up for them.
Yeah,
Turkey's going to enter the war. They said they entering.
Yeah, man. And what does Isaiah? I think it's Isaiah 50:45 or Jeremiah 50:45. I always get that mixed up. Where it said the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? Them small hats. So, I just me through the spirit. What I was seeing through the spirit was that they're gonna completely obliterate Israel, and that's gonna draw America in, and then that's gonna be it for America. Right? That's just my take. It can go another way. That's just what I'm feeling. Because I believe Israel is going to use a nuke on a country. I don't know what country, but they're going to use a nuke. It may be Iran. It might be Iran. Because, these devils, they feel like, man, ain't nobody going to tell us what we can and can't do. Push that button, man. And then that's going to be the end. And then the U.S. they're gonna be forced to get into that war, man. And that's when.
Well, I think they're not going to use a nuke on Iran because I feel like if they use a nuke, it's the radiation. They don't want to be exposed to the after effects of a nuke being detonated. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't all about the nuke being detonated and obliterates. It's the after effects to the radiation that comes after that. You know what I'm saying? And they in the close vicinity. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, they would have been if they wasn't that close to Iran. They would have been did it, man.
But that's what I'm saying, because now I don't know if you know, a lot of people are moving from Israel to Germany. A lot of them are moving. A lot of them are leaving to go to Germany and Europe, even though Europe is falling as well. But a lot of them are leaving. So I think they trying to set something up.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
That could be like a convert, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna move here, then we're gonna do it, and then we'll come back after we see what happens after that.
Yeah, because you can't trust these devils, man. The lady asked Trump. He said, "Do you think you're gonna use a nuclear weapon on Iran?" He said, "Why would I do that? Just such a stupid question. Why would I do that? We completely took it over Iran, and we didn't have to use that." No, you didn't. No, you didn't, man. But yeah, back to these Jakes. Jake is fully against Esau, man. It tells you that Jacob shall be in the neck of thy enemy, man. So wherever Esau is, you're gonna have Jake right there. Whatever cabinet he in, he got a Jake there. Jake gonna be right there under Esau, man. And that's a mistake that Esau, he made. Well, let's continue.
something else, I want you to call it out. As your First Amendment protection is going to be protected in this building.
I'm not going to be
go
called
on and
names.
speak.
I'm not going to be called names. All right. And what we will do is stay on the four corners of these bills, the maps.
Louisiana is 33% black. 33% black. We deserve, we have earned, we are due 2 congressional seats. Now, if you take them from us, just know there will be a day in this state when we organize, strategize, and mobilize to take something from you. It's coming. And when you lose your House seat because you decided to be Jeff's boy, come on, when you lose your Senate seat because you decided to be Trump's minion, remember today. Remember the people that came from your state, that you looked in their faces, that you act like what they said didn't matter to you. Because something somebody said thousands of miles away, who don't really care about any of you on this committee, to be honest. Nobody in that conservative party in DC cares about any of you on this city committee other than the fact that you have the ability to take something away from black people. And if you were anything like what America should be, you'd find some courage. I don't know where y'all get it from, but you'd find some courage. You could talk to some of your black colleagues. They could tell you where the well is. But if you find that courage, history will record you differently. Now, you may not care what history records you as. Bull Connor didn't when he was running either. Neither did George Wallace when he was the governor of Alabama. But 60 years later, nobody thinks George Wallace was a good white man. And nobody will think that you were good white men. They will think that you all were puppets who played a role for a president and got nothing out of it but thievery.
And that's what they are, man. They all are puppets. They all are puppets, man. You know, it's just an agenda that's being pushed. I'm telling you, they trying to take you so-called Negroes back to the Jim Crow era, man, where you just don't have any type of rights at all. No type of privileges, no types of rights at all, man. You know? Man, this place is done. This place is completely done, man. So it's high time to wake out of sleep because, hey, the Lord is about to destroy Babylon the Great. World War III, we done entered World War III already. It's just going to increase. And, you know, pretty soon, man, the missiles going to hit, they're going to hit home. And your world going to change, man. If your world hasn't changed already, it's about to change. You know, so I'm going to end it there. You know, I hope, Lord willing, you know, the elect was edified. You know, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rakakadash, blessing us to bring out another lesson on another Shabbat. And yeah, man, just keep looking at, you know, current affairs and, you know, world affairs, and, you know, just know, man, we at the end. You there, brother? You want to say something? He probably stepped away. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna close out with that. Yeah, leave this world behind, man. There's nothing here. And then with that, I'm gonna say shalom.